Red Bull, Williams, McLaren, who's going to snap and who's going to prevail? Into Turn 1, and it was the mighty Blue.
But it is not over yet, because both Dark and Friends are going to get an opportunity as they make their way down towards Turn 4.
And it's 3 wide. Unbelievable
through
scene.
130 yard. This is truly breathtaking. This is Japan, ladies and gentlemen. This is their moment, and what a show they are putting on here tonight,
There is
folks.
just no way past for Morel. Morel cannot get past Praetara. He needs this position. He needs it. And no way has he just done off the inside of that corner.
Take a bow and embrace it, son. You deserve this.
Dark HD, you are a 2-time champion of the world.
It had it all. It was the greatest ride. The thrill of a lifetime.
Back, Rayhan, he's already to the bow, it's a big crash!
Round and round it went. But where it stopped, who knew? Who knew who would claim the prize? It had it all. It had Pi McLarens ending the season on top. So quickly went the ride that friends and rivals blurred into one. And that way, madness lies. It had intrigue and interest. It had a prancing horse galloping its way to the top.
Take a bow and embrace it, son. You deserve this.
New faces, new blood, and even an echo of the past.
Through goes Fraser to take the parent.
A falling god, now railing against his own mortality and risking that of others. Everybody's time must pass. It had it all, this ride. It had a returning champion. And what do you do when this ride is over? The greatest ride? The thrill of a lifetime? You take your seats and get back on. And this ride begins once more.
Lord have mercy. That is unfortunate. Right, hopefully I can hear. Hopefully you can hear me now, guys. We've just been yapping on about nothing, and shit's. Oh God. Right, let's make sure. Right, Jace, you want to say anything, mate?
Well, yeah. Hello, testing.
Right, okay,
See
I
if
think
this
we're
will
good.
work.
I think we're good. That is the first embarrassment of the season. It was always going to happen. I just didn't expect it to happen this early. Bit of teething problems here. We've attempted to overhaul the streaming platform for this new season. And I tell you, Hef is overhauling the lap times in Sector 2 already, setting a purple Sector 2 and barreling his way down in towards the final corner. And what will this lap time be for also a new debutant? But I think he's just gone a bit wide coming out the final corner, and he has invalidated his lap. So that'll be enough for him. But we'll see, because it seems he does have the pace, judging off his middle sector pace.
Yeah, we will have to wait and see how the things go. But don't forget, 20 people on the grid with us tonight, so it should be an absolute thrilling race. And of course, it is only the top people with us tonight, so we're going to be seeing some absolutely blissful times. We have to watch out for Dog Jr. and House, the two of the quickest drivers to not set a time at the moment. Of course, we also got Trackster or Tracked Racer, who is currently on his lap as he makes his way through towards the end of Sector 2, and we'll see what sort of his middle sector split is looking like. But it should be a very good race.
Yeah, it most definitely should be. I hope we've gotten everything right so far. I think we should be okay. But let us know in chat if anything is out of the ordinary, and we'll try and get on it as soon as possible. But anyways, it is Elite Scythe, who is in P1. He is on his outlap. True Vase as well, making a return for Tier 1 Season 6. He was one of the drivers who had a lot of pace last season, but wasn't always there to capitalise. He always had a few incidents. Can he make the step up to make a challenge for the title this season, Josh?
He can do it. I feel like we'll see a lot more from him towards this season, especially towards the start of this season. We don't know if he's going to deploy later on in the season, but we do know he's a very quick driver, and he will be up there through the majority of it. And hopefully we can see some up there. Hopefully we can get at least into the top 5 of the drivers, but we will have to wait and see. I just want to mention one little thing. The Alpine driver of Trap Racer 23, he was on a very good lap until he came across the final corner. And the very final corner being validated reminds me of when you were trying to beat everyone's qualifying time. And of course, into the final corner, you invalidated. And that's what happened there with ETE Frozen, going P2 with 28.8.
Yeah, certainly a very competitive lap time from ETE. I'm about to say Taze Frozen there, ETE Frozen. And that's a very encouraging lap from that man so far. And he's just about 900 seconds away from Elite Scythe. I'm trying to do massive line, and it's not ending well for me. But yeah. Opinions on Taze ETE Frozen?
Everyone said that how I remember at the start when he first got into Brome Armor, has he truly got the pace for, let alone Tier 1? We figured, has he got the pace for Tier 2? And then of course we've seen him through pre-season, and he's absolutely been shining like a diamond in the rough, and he's been showing everyone pretty much who is boss. And no wonder he's an ETE, because Frozen has literally frozen the rest of the grid apart from Elite Scythe at the moment, and we'll have to wait and see how the rest of qualifying turn out. But I have big prospects.
Yeah, and I think we've got Elite Scythe lighting up the lap times right now, and he has gone just about a tenth quicker through Sector 1. We'll see what he is for Sector 2, but it is looking good for Elite Scythe to extend his lead at the top here. And Moore Island, he's in P8 right now, and I think he's really enjoying life as well, as we can now see Elite Scythe making his way down towards turn 11 over there. Yeah, turn 11.
Yep.
And we'll see what the Sector 2 time will look like. But right now, he's looking like he's in a very strong position to extend his lap time. He's gone about, I guess he went 1.93 tenths down in the first, but he's still up on his time in total, about 16.2 160 seconds. So we see he makes his way through the final corner. Was it going to be for elite sight? It's not. So he must have had a bit of a bad run through the final sector, and it wasn't enough time to gain.
I think he was up on his time, but I think maybe half a tenth, if that. I feel like he's decided, you know what, with the time remaining, just over 6 minutes, I might as well go into the pit and just do 2 more laps to see if I can work a little bit more out of it. But we have to wait and see. For the people like Dog Jr., he is still not yet to set a time. House was a bit of a disappointing first, I'd like to say, as he goes into the pits. I think that was his any lap, but I'm not too sure. But he goes back into the pits, and it's a 7 and an 8 for the Alfa Romeos. I believe they are going to be on for a very good constructors run coming through the season.
I do want, as we see here, making his way down towards the line. We'll see what this does for him. He makes his way barrel and he goes into P4 with a 129.155. That's a great lap from Heth on his official Tier 1 debut. Wow.
I was not expecting that from Heth, not one bit, especially coming from Tier 2. We thought these guys would be close to the bottom, but no, he's kind of shown us how it's done, especially with the people like Ella as well, who is sitting in P9 at the moment. These Tier 2 lot, we know one thing about them, they can show a bunch of surprises, especially through last season when they reserved for Tier 1. And now we know why they are in a Tier 1 officially. And I think we're going to expect some good things from Heth in the coming future. Yeah,
I really do hope so as well. And yeah, I think he's one of them where he's taken leaps and strides since he first arrived in Tier 2. And has now made his way up into Tier 1 after a season in Tier 2. And I think he can be a strong driver throughout the season if he can keep his consistency up. But I do want to give a bit of a special shout out to both Mighty One of 2 and Neox. Neox P5, Mighty One of 2 P7 right now. And they are very high up right now. I think it's good to see that, you know, they've got the pace there. And let's hope they can hold on to it and maybe even move a bit higher.
I would check out Ella at the moment. She is on a flyer. Purple Sector 2. She's about 3, nearly 4 attempts. Quick up on her time. We could be seeing a potentially at least a P3 here.
We'll see now as Ella makes her way through turn 15, the final corner, and I've missed it. Oops. There we go. Ella crosses the line and goes P4 with a 129 dead. That is a lovely lap time from another debutant. We've got quite a few here in Tier 1. She will be most definitely trying to move on from her pace, move forward with her pace from the off-season championship and translate it into the real thing. And she is certainly making good progress towards that goal.
She is indeed. Sitting P4, the debutant. We saw she has won races in Tier 1 before from last season, coming up from a reserve. And now, because she's got her own mark in the Alfa Romeo, she will show us how she may be the only lady, but she will show the boys how it is done. As we see Moran goes into P5, we know he has got a very quick time in him with the no traction. And I believe Moran is on for a very good race himself.
Yes, Moran, of course, the winner in the inaugural BMRL Tier 1 Bahrain race. And he actually set the record for the largest winning margin. You got to grant, he absolutely dominated the field here in Season 1. And he held the record for the longest time before, I believe it was Tim Friesen who beat the record in Tier 2. But yeah, he has definitely got the minerals and the goods around Bahrain. Having a win and a triumphant win around here. And we'll see. He might be out of sync, so I don't think there's going to be another lap from him. So that might be his qualifying all wrapped up and done. But P5 so far is most definitely a strong place to be. And looking to other Tier 1 winners here in Bahrain. Fraser currently sitting in P13. Not the qualifying he'd be hoping for. But one thing we do know about Fraser is that he is electric on the 1 lap pace. And we'll see what he is able to do in this final lap of the qualifying session. In Season 4, our winner as Dark HD, the reigning champion, has retired. So that is his qualifying set and done. He will be P14 at best here in Bahrain. That is almost calamity for the reigning champion.
You are going to be hearing a lot of commentary from yourself especially with Ella as well, who's also retired. I feel like people have realised they won't be able to get out for another lap. But look at the track now. Everyone is out on track at the moment, apart from two little people, of course, them two being the people who are retired. And so this is going to turn into a bit of a slugfest to get their final cars around the final lap. And hopefully we don't see any blocking towards the final lap.
Yeah, hopefully so. And I can tell you the track is most definitely warming up. Track temperature is now sitting at 29 degrees, which for Bahrain may seem a bit warm, a bit cold, but I can assure you on the F1 game, 29 degrees is hot enough. So we will see the first driver to go on his qualifying lap will be, I believe, the Williams of... No, it won't be. It'll be the...
Jake Laser.
Jake Laser in the Alpine. Obviously, reserve for Tier 2 will be trying his best to have a good season in Tier 2, but he's making his reserve in Tier 1. Jace, you want to take us through this lap?
Yes, I will indeed, as Jake Laser is nearly a tenth up on his time as he makes his way down in towards turn 8 on the track and making sure you get a very good exit. Very easy to spin on exit, especially with no traction. Now, all the way down into turn 10, probably the hardest corner of the track. But the Alpine seems like he's taking it pretty nicely. Now, open up DRS, and you want to make that big run down. You want to be reaching at least 190 miles per hour as he takes 4 gear shifts down, through turn 11, and then making his way along the long right-hander of turn 12, up and towards one of the easier corners of turn 13. And he is 4 temps, nearly 5 temps up on his time, ladies and gentlemen. He could be pushing as much as he can, maybe getting to P14, trying to get past Dark HD. Anyway, final corner of turn 14 and turn 15, the little kink of turn 15, making us run down all the way up into the line. The Tier 2 Merchant comes across for a P14. That'll be his final lap on the grid.
And Randra makes his way into P7, and I can confirm, ladies and gentlemen, the lap boards are lighting up, people improving left, right and centre. I think next we will see the Alpine Torch race, and he goes into P1 with a 28.2. Incredible lap. Dark Jr. maybe the next... No, he isn't. Jesus Christ, there's so much happening. Fraser crosses the line. P7 at best for him. We'll look behind now to the Alpha Tauri. And ETE Frozen goes into P2. Great lap from him. In the Alfa Romeo, House goes P4. It now looking back towards the Williams driver of Squinners. What can he do as he makes his way into the final corner? Elite Scythe goes P2. That is not pole for him on the round 1 of Bahrain. Squinners goes into P4 in the Williams. In the Haas, we now look towards Heth, who cannot improve on his lap. Dark Jr. next across the line in the Red Bull goes into P2 with a 128.3. It is so close between the top 2 drivers. Dark Jr. and Tat Racer separated by about 200ths of a second. The finest of margins there as these drivers are pushing to the absolute limit. And I think that is it. Wow.
Wow, indeed, Josh. What an amazing qualifying to start off this beautiful season together. Hopefully we can replicate that with the Tier 2s tomorrow. But it is the newcomer of Track Racer 23 in the Alpine. Puts it on pole position with Dark Jr. in P2 and Elite Scythe in P3.
Yeah, it's certainly, I would say, just a little bit entertaining. In the first qualifying session, look at the gaps at the front. P1 to P4 separated by just under 0.2 of a second. Can it get any closer than that? These drivers are pushing to the complete limit, and you'll love to see it.
Well,
So,
hopefully stuff like this happens in the race in the coming future.
Yeah, for sure. So, based on that, who's your favourite to win the race?
Well, I would comment on Track Racer. I haven't seen enough of him yet, so I can't really say where he's going to come. But we do know Elite Scythe loves a start, and he's really quick off the starting blocks. In the race, we don't know, but maybe this is a new season, new him. Dark Jr., though, I feel like all round, he is one of the favourites for at least the championship, let alone this race. And we do know he's got some serious pace. So if I had to be a gambling man, which I ain't, if I had to be a betting man, should I say, I would have to put it on Dark Jr.
Yeah, well, I definitely can't argue with that. He has shown some supreme pace from during the off-season championship, and I can't blame you for going for what we've seen the electric pace of this man, and Touch Racer, we've not seen him here on the Tier 1 grid before, but he's certainly come and made a statement. As Dark has left the session, we'll try our best to get him in time. But, oh dear. There we go.
Let me try as well.
Get him an invite and we'll see if we can get him in.
Was it Junior or HC?
I think that the drivers are leaving a bit of time for other people to enable their strategies and whatever. So I think we might be able to get Dark back in time. And it's great fair play shown by the drivers to do so. Anyways, last time we were here in Bahrain, Elite Scythe took the win here in Tier 1. I was on the grid at that point, and I can confirm he is certainly quick. That is for sure. And he is starting in P3 now. And
are you going to lead us away?
You can do so if you want, mate.
Oh, I'll do it. Maybe.
Yeah, but Elite Scythe certainly will be up there. And ETE Frozen, we don't talk about enough being in P4, but I'll leave it to you, Jace.
There we go. Then it is 4 lights, and it is 5 lights ahead of the drivers in Tier 1. And it is go, go, go. It's a horrible start from Track Racer. As Dark Jr. puts us into P1. Elite Scythe following in P2. And Neox, of all people in the Mercedes, heads up into P3. As they make their way through Turn 1, Dark Jr. is ghosting. It'll be Neox to lead them away through into P2. And Elite Scythe in the McLaren is showing the rest of the people how it's done. And it looks like everyone else is keeping it nice and safe. Dark Jr. down to P5. Ella keeping it where it is at P6. Scrap that P7. But here's the Red Bull trying to touch tooth and nail with Ella to try and burst their way through. And it's dropped them down. Molyneux splits them off and jumps into P6 in the end. And here we go. Here's the yellow flag. First one of the night. And I think that is the Haas driver of Hef who has taken a little spin. He's lost his wing. So he will have to come to the pit. And that is a virtual safety car.
Yeah, I can confirm Hef does have some pretty heavy front wing damage. But wow. I believe Dark was not in control of his car and now finds himself behind his teammate. He's only just joined back and he must not be happy about that at all. Did we just see Chart Racer back off at the start of this race to try and do a last to first challenge here and have a bit of an interesting one? We've seen it in the past at certain tracks. And Dark's left again. I'll try my best to get him in. But it's not going well for him right now. It really isn't.
No, it is not. And Track Racer, he has to make a lot of ground. Maybe he just had a bit of a poor start and wasn't looking. Or maybe he is doing a last to first challenge. We will have to wait and see how much he really wants it. But it is Elite Scythe to lead us away from the first lap, of course, starting P3 on the grid as he gets the fastest lap here with us tonight. We have Neox in P2. Very, very good start from the Mercedes. ET Frozen in P3 with Squinez, the newcomer, in P4 of the Williams. P5 goes to Ella. P6 to Molyneux. House will take over P7 with Fraser and Dark, the two Red Bulls, in P8 and P9. As Hef gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Randro, the newcomer, in P10. The other Mercedes, Mo Ryland in P11. Bit of a dodgy start to him. 91 of 2 in P12 with Drake Laser with a pretty good start. P13. Crew de Vase also often disappointing. I don't think we've spoken about him much, even though we know he's a really quick racer. Both Ferraris now of Swaz Killers and Dark HD, P15, P16, and what in the Aston Martin P17, and Optic Track Racer, who's already up in position on Hef in P19, and Hef, of course, rounding off the top 20. But we'll have to wait and see how things go as Rando takes up Dark Jr.
And things just go bad to worse for Dark Jr., clearly having some sort of connection issue. As you can see, Neox now is right on the back of Elite Scythe, and DRS will be enabled on the next lap, so we'll see, can he make a move? Elite Scythe on the medium tyres, Neox on the mediums, ET Frozen on the hards, Squinners on the hards, Alfa Romeo of Ella on the hards as well. We've got a big pack of medium runners down from P6 to P10, so Neox will most definitely be trying to make an advantage from his medium tyres. And look at the straight line speed compared to Elite Scythe. And before we even get to the starting line, while he does set the fastest lap, Neox is into P1. And I think for the first time in his career, he leads a race here in BMRL. And that is certainly what he would like to see. Will Elite Scythe have an opportunity going in towards turn 4? Excuse me. As Touch Racer sets the fastest lap, so maybe we will see more of that pace later on in the race towards the top. But Neox maintains his position and stays in P1. And it's a great drive so far, as we see just behind Ella and Monia, or House and Monia, I'm sorry, going side to side. And now they're going to try and House going to try and hold it, but he's given up the place and it's conceded to Monia.
Yeah, it's a very good start from Neox at the moment, of course, being the only medium to separate the front five, hard runners. So, of course, he will have that little edge at the start, as we see a little lock up there from House's teammate in Ella. But Neox up 4 positions at the moment. He needs to really get a move on. He's nearly out of second already from Elite Side. Where did we see this in qualifying? I do not know, but everyone else is starting to now settle down a little bit. We have a big cluster between P7 and P2 as it stands at the moment, and everyone else is slowly starting to separate, maybe split off into twos. Dark Jr. is still not back in his car. He's losing after every lap, and he's already down to P13.
Yeah, you can only feel for him because he was definitely a favourite coming into this race. But Neox is by far the highest medium runner compared to the rest. And he needs to make advantage of that tyre advantage compared to pretty much all of the gorillas and wolves that are hunting him down from behind on the hard compound tyres. And ET Frozen may also be smelling the blood of Elite Side because he's got a slipstream and he might have an opportunity going into turn 4. Not enough overspeed compared to the McLaren driver. The positions stay as they are. Except if your name is Swaz Killers, because I think Swaz Killers and Dark HD may have been going side by side. Or maybe even be going for an overtake, but Dark HD stays behind his teammate. Of course, both champions in BMRL, Swaz Killers in Season 1 and Dark HD. Now, a 2-time driver officially, the reigning champion of course, not having the race that you want to remember, but I'm sure he has the pace and the racecraft to make his way forward in the latter stages. Anyways, looking forward toward ET Frozen. He is now alongside, why has this happened now? Oh, dearie me. ET Frozen is alongside and now ahead of Elite Scythe going into turn 11. And Elite Scythe has managed to get a switchback, and there might be an opportunity to swing around the outside. They're going to try and hold it. They're going to go side by side. Elite Scythe goes off the track. It's so close between these two drivers now, but look at the overspeed he's got. The speed through the mid-corner, and he might have an opportunity with the slipstream, but Elite Scythe stays behind. But it's not over yet. Neox has now scampered away and leads by over a second as he makes his way onto lap 5. But it is now the battle we need to look at because Elite Scythe is just about 3/10 behind his AlphaTauri rival in Taze Frozen. And will he be able to make a move? I don't think he is. He's going to save his battery and he's going to wait for a better day. Or is it because he's got so much better straight line speed compared to him? And is there an opportunity now going into turn 3? We've seen the overspeed he had. Squid is behind, is smelling blood and will be trying to capitalise on a possible mistake from one of these two drivers. But, as it stands, Taze Frozen, ET Frozen, leads from Elite Scythe and Squinners. Ella House in the Alfa Romeo is certainly doing well for the team, followed behind in P5 and P6. Fraser trying to fly the Red Bull flag alone as his teammate has some connection issues and just things go from bad to worse from him, following a bit of pressure from Molyneux. Jace. This is turning into some sort of race, isn't it?
Oh, I can tell you that, Murphy. It's been a massive race, and both Ferraris are wibbling and wobbling every corner. Yes, they seem like they're battling, but they're letting each other through at the same time. The move that you saw before, it was going into turn 1 on exit. Dark HD had a massive wiggle, and I'm very lucky he just about saved it. And now I think it's both Alfa Romeos who've gone for a little bit of switch. House and Ella both joined at the same time, both newcomers from last season. And of course, they're teammates with us tonight. And like you said, we've got the two champions in Swaz Killers and Dark HD. P14 and 15, so it's not the best at the moment. But this is a crazy race at the moment. And who knows what's going to happen in the latter stage, especially with safety cars and everything.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm trying to get some penalties. We haven't got any penalties. We've got a 5-second penalty for Heth. And we'll get the tyre information as it is right now. But we can look ahead just there because I believe that is Dark Jr. who is now well and truly back in his car and making a charge forward. He dispatches Jake Laser. And now the next target and possibly the next victim will be Moore Island, who had a good qualifying but a bit of a stinker on the first lap. But ET Frozen, I apologise ladies and gentlemen, because ET Frozen's taking the win, or the potential win, back from Neox, and now they're going to go side by side. This is incredible racing between the two of them. And ET Frozen is in P1.
Yeah, I was looking for a little bit of a sequence all the way from coming into turn 1 all the way up towards turn 8. They were pretty much side by side through it, and I feel like it's going to be a great battle, especially between Elite Scythe, Neox, and Elite Frozen. These three are absolutely insane. And to be fair, we can't count out the people like Squinners, House, and Ella, who are still right behind, and then just further back from that, they've got Fraser and Molyneux. So it is a very equal grid with us tonight, and we're going to be seeing some great moves, some great battles, and who knows, the whole grid could reverse by the end of this race.
Yeah, and we've got a yellow flag in sector 2, and I believe that is Prix de Vase, who may have spun or locked up going into turn 10. This is not a race to remember for the McLaren driver. We know he's better than what we've seen so far, but it's just not going to plan for him. And you'd think it's esports going ahead, because look at the pack that's going through this, going through the start-finish straight. Neox is trying his best to make amends for losing his position on the previous lap, and it's not enough for him, so he'll hold back going into turn 1. He may have a better exit going into turn 3, or going towards turn 3. We got another yellow flag, and I believe that will be Optic JS20, of course the rating 2 tier 2 champion, who has unfortunately had an issue going through turn 15 and now is under some serious pressure from another spinner in Prix de Vase.
Yeah, I think it shows the difference between tier 1 and tier 2. But saying that, you have to look at the people like Hef, who had a great lap at the start, of course, down in P20 at the moment. He hasn't had the race of his life. But Optic GS20 and Hef, the two guys coming up from tier 2, the two guys who've shown the rest of the tier 2 grid how it was done last season, are not on for a very good race at the moment, of course, both having their little differences. But we have to look forward for Jake Laser, who is getting past Dark HD. Would you believe that?
Who would have thought that coming into this race? But this Tier 1 Season 6 opener has been full of surprises so far. Let's have a look to Tartrazer. He possibly may have backed off on the first lap to let people through and attempt to make it last the first challenge. If you see More Island getting past Matty 1 of 2. But currently he's under pressure from a real champion in Swaz Killers, who is going to be putting some pressure on him now to get P13.
Hey, we know the saying from back, if you're an OG in Bro Mama, in Shimbo we trust, or we race with Shimbo.
And certainly Neox is racing with ETE Frozen, because he's gotten P1 going into turn 1. Frozen holds it round the outside, but there may be a switch back opportunity for him, for Neox, as he gets, but that is great defending from ET Frozen. Breaks later, sorry, breaks a bit earlier to get the DRS advantage and hold on to his position. That's great from him. And we can see that I think Elite Scythe is just kind of conserving his tyres, and I can see Elite Scythe is conserving his battery and conserving his tyres a bit more than the two in front. He has got quite a bit less tyre wear than the guys in front, and people around him. He's the lowest of the hard runners, in addition with More Island in the Alvatari and Jake Clay's in the Alpine. So this might play into his hands later on in this race. In all fairness, Neox is preserving his mediums well, and he's also preserving his lap time well, because he's also gotten into P1 going into turn 11. We don't see those all the time, but he's made it work, and he is in P1, and he's not letting this win go, for sure.
It felt like it was a little bit of a slight wiggle past turn 8. And then he kind of just lost it a bit there, and then had a bit of a bad turn 10, and it's loud.
Have you just seen up the JS20 spin? Prix de Vase gets P19, and it's just going from bad to worse for the Tier 2 champion on his Tier 1 debut officially. So unfortunate.
Yeah, it is unfortunate indeed. Optic JS20 is not having the best race out there. I feel like his head is slowly gone, but take us away for ETE Frozen.
ETE Frozen? And Neox, for once again, I think this is the third lap in a row that ET Frozen has made a move on Neox, and he's into P1 as they go through turn 1. Will he have the DRS? We'll see who has it between the two. I believe it will be Neox who has it, and he does have it. Will he have an opportunity to go on to ETE Frozen going into turn 3? It stays as it is.
We have to watch out for Elite Scythe, who is still only 4 to 3 attempts behind them all. Maybe, hopefully, he's going to watch them both battle their way out, and then maybe get them to collide a little bit, touch each other a little bit, just like how your uncle touches you, and then maybe having a little bit of a spin there, and Elite Scythe will capitalise straight back on it.
And yes, Dark Jr. is possibly driving a bit angry right now, as he's not in the position he wanted to be when he started this race, but he's making a charge through the grid. He's into the points, he's in P10, and now More Island will be under some serious pressure to keep him behind into turn 11. We've got a yellow flag again. I think that's Optic again.
Yeah.
Who's had an incident, and it's just not his race so far. But we he'll bounce back as we see Jake Laser getting past Swazka. I think he made a mistake going into turn 11, but there's a switchback opportunity. He's going to try and go, try and go around the outside of turn 13, and he's going to make that stick, and that's a great move from the tier 1 Season 1 champion. Anyways, Doc Jr. is basically pushing Mortar Island through the final corner. This is almost a move, game, set, and match before we've even gotten to the start-finish line. And look at the overspeed he's got. Doc Jr. pulls out from the slipstream, and I think this is going to be an easy move for the Red Bull and P2 sitter at the start of this race.
Well, Elite Scythe up into P2 now and trying to hunt down ET Frozen to get the P1 on the grid. And here we go. Here's some moves happening as Randro and Moore Island, and Moore Island battling between each other. Randro, he reminds me, I've been watching his racing throughout this race, and after retirement for Crew of Ace in the pit lane, and it is before half race distance, so that will probably be a pen. But Randro, he reminds me of Cogiston a lot with the way he racecrafts, and we can hopefully see a lot from him this season.
Yes, of course. Cogiston, a bit of a legend in the BMRL community, will be making a return for Tier 1 Season 6, and I for sure can say that I would love to see him back on the Tier 1 grid. And we'll also see a bit more of a, I wouldn't say a more popular name, but definitely a more established name in Dragon and Fire, who was, of course, the Tier 1 Season 4 champion. And he also will hopefully be making a return up to JS20. We know he's got some internet issues at some times, but he's left. And I'll try my best to LJs if you can get him back in. But things will just not going well for him right now. As we can just see, this pack is incredible. They're just going together. Now, will the undercut be something that they'll try to make Neox still keep him well on his mediums, but they are past the drop-off. Well, to be fair, everybody in front is on the drop-off point. And I can say that Taze is definitely cooking his tyres a bit more than the people around him. Will this be an issue for him moving forward? As it stands, he's in P1 and he's got about a 7/10 lead and he's safe for now, but will Elite's better tyre saving help him throughout this race?
What is going to happen with Crew of A's, would you say?
That is something the Shoes will look into, as we can also look into Randro going down the inside of Morrowind into turn 3. And he's not going to like that. Morrowind, of course, the type protagonist from Season 1. And a very good driver in his own right, just not having the race that he'd want. And Randro has gotten the better of him and knocks him out of the points.
Yeah, Randro, he's doing pretty well on his debut P10. He'll be happy to get some points as we are starting to head towards the half race distance of this Grand Prix. When does pit window open? Josh.
My apologies, I was on mute for some reason. Anyways, that is a very good question, and I won't call out driver's tyre wear overstream just in case there's somebody watching, but I can confirm that many drivers will probably be thinking about making a pit stop in the near future. I would assume the likes of Touch Racer in the Alpine, the likes of Randro in the Mercedes, the likes of Fraser even, might make a bit of an earlier stop compared to the rest. And there are some who are conserving their tyres very well. I'm looking at the likes of Elite Scythe, who seems to be conserving battery, conserving his ERS, conserving his tyres just to stay behind. Neox is, he's conserving his mediums very well, but I'll tell you who's conserving them even better, and that is House. He is nursing the tyres in the mediums, and he's actually got a better tyre wear than most of the hard runners. I believe he's got the lowest tyre on the entire grid right now, so that's incredible from him in the mediums.
Wow, so he can probably make it work for a bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if he, it just depends on what he wants to do. But I didn't even realise how much he was nursing the tyres. And to be fair, when you're in this pack, if you've got the pace, you can just nurse the tyres and wait for the opportunity. Maybe go for an overcut or an undercut. And I mean, for sure, he might be one with an opportunity later on in this race.
Well, we will have to wait and see. Come on towards the last stage of this race, but it is ET Frozen to still lead us away. 7/10 differential between him and Elite Scythe with Neox in P3. If you have to put your prediction who's going to win this race now, who would you say?
Oh, I have absolutely no idea. I wouldn't be able to tell you because it is so clear. I mean, the top 7 drivers are separated by at most it's definitely less than 10 seconds, isn't it? So
Yep.
it'd be about maybe 8 or so seconds. And then you've got Dark Jr., who's definitely making it on the last lap. Let's have a look what he was setting. So he's got some decent paces. He's starting struggling with the tyres a bit, but he's only, well, compared to his best lap, he's him and House seem to be doing okay with their tyres. So I wouldn't even count Doc Jr. out. He's in P9, making his way into P6. As you see Torch Racer come into the pits, as I predicted, he is not having a race to remember. I think he possibly might have tried for a cocky move and trying to do a last to first, and it just didn't go to plan. But who knows? I am not judging anybody based on that or based on possible incidents with their wheel or whatever it is. But if so, I would say it was a bit well. It is what it is. But he's not having a race to remember. That's what I can say anyway. But we look forward because this pack, every time you go to him, there's always someone that's about 3 or 4 tenths behind. And Neox is maybe going to use the DRS of Elite Scythe and ET Frozen to just take his tyres a bit longer into the race. And Squinners is definitely saving his battery a lot more compared to the other drivers.
Are we going to be doing half race commentary thingy interviews?
No, we're not. So, we look forward to Swaz Killers. Or look behind, I guess. But to Swaz Killers and Dark HD. As you see Squinners make a move. Oh no, we don't see Squinners make a move because House and Neox have gone into the pits. And I don't understand why House has come in because he was doing quite well for his tyres.
Maybe a bit of an undercut. On the softs.
On the softs. Are we going to see a 2-stop strategy from House? Wow. Okay.
Unless he's going for a big undercut and hoping for a safety car. I don't know why he's gone for that.
Well, they've come out just ahead of the Ferrari drivers who are going side by side into turn, well, somewhat side by side. Dark HG is going to come out ahead. Sorry. He's going to be ahead of House. That is not ideal for him. He wanted to be ahead of this pack because these two have been within DRS the entire time. It might be that that Swazkillers just has a bit better straight line speed than Dark HD. But 2 champions, 2 Ferraris, and it's going to be competitive, that's for sure. Neox avoided I would say the carnage and the traffic ahead, and he is already now 1.7 seconds ahead, so you can see how much this affects House. And we've just seen House, I believe, get a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. No, it would have been a 5-second penalty. I believe that'll be for speed in the pit lane. As you see, a double lockup from the Ferraris, but it's not enough. So House will be in serious trouble if he wants to get past quickly. But he makes a dive into turn 11, and that is how you make moves quickly. Dark HG lets him go. I think he knows that wasn't his fight, and it's worth just saving the time, saving the tyres, and saving for a better day. Anyways,
yeah,
we look ahead to Spinners, who comes into the pits. Jace?
Sorry, I was going to say it's a very smart strategy for Dark HD to let him through, as he knows it's not his race to go for. His House is already onto the back of Swazkillers now, and like you mentioned, yes, 3 people pitting. Squinners, Fraser and Randro deciding to opt in for the pits, but we should be looking at P5 all the way to P1. People have not pitted yet. Josh?
I apologise, Chase. You want to ask that question again, mate?
No, it wasn't a question. It was just a statement of why are they not pitting yet?
Well, I mean, they are doing a bit well for their tyres. Well, they're doing not so well, but I mean, Dark Jr. is absolutely cooking his tyres as well now on the medium, still doing 15 laps on the mediums. If you see Squinners go wide, he's locked up twice. He's had a double lockup, and that looks like a disconnection from his wheel. As we see again, that's is that Swazkillers ahead? Squinners has left the session. I think there's been an issue with his wheel because it was slapping all about. Dark Swazkillers maybe saw that and reacted and had a spin, but that is a big moment in this race because he was in that front pack, and that will probably be good news to the likes of Ella, Elite Scythe, and Taze Frozen. And Ella is now away from that pack, so without the help of her teammate and a few others to stay behind, she has lost the DRS from the drive and will just be falling away, and it's not going to help. But Elite Scythe comes into the pits, and ET Frozen comes in as well. So Elite Scythe following him in. It'll be interesting to see Neox and House, where will they come out relative to the two drivers that just pitted? Neox makes his way down the start-finish race, crosses the line now, and we'll see who will be out in front. Dark Junior comes into the pits as well. Neox comes out just behind of ET Frozen, but he's got the fresher tire. Oh, sorry, he's got the warmer tires. Neox has got on the mediums. On the hards. ET Frozen on the mediums, but I don't think it's gonna be enough unless he can send it around the outside now. That is his opportunity gone to make an advantage. But ET Frozen's gone deep into turn 3, and that's enough for Neox to get past. And that is crucial for his race, and that might be a move that wins him the race.
Yeah, if I had to mention one thing right now, is we're looking at Moran in P2. Do you think he is the guy to keep it on till it's soft territory and go on to the softs? We know there's one guy already on this grid in Swazkilis. He's definitely going to make these work. But that's surprising from Swazkilis, not holding off till the softs. Moran, though, do you reckon he might try it?
I mean, he's always one for a bit of a spicy strategy, isn't he? So I would not be surprised in the slightest if Moore Island were to go for a hard soft strategy. As we've seen, that is Hef, and the Hasses are not enjoying their life right now. Currently locking up the 2 back spots, and it just goes from bad to worse for them. And
yeah, I've been inviting Optic a bunch of times. He's not joining, so I've got a feeling that he's kind of like, I don't want to leave just in case, but I'm just going to keep it. I'm just going to leave the session and just do what my own thing is till the end of this race.
Well, anyways, we see Moore Island coming into the pits, and I can confirm it is the medium tyres that will go on to his AlphaTauri. So no interesting strategy, just a bit of a overcut, trying to get the advantage of the fresher tyres on the next lap. But I can tell you, House is absolutely cooking his battery to try and defend from ET Frozen, who's just gotten ahead. And will those sub tyres be going off already?
I don't know, 3 laps. I think he's still got another 2 laps at least till they start really starting to cook off a bit. But it is Hef now into the pits on 15-lap old hard compound tyres. But Ella, P1 at the moment. But of course, every lap she does now is going to be more time lost. So I think the best thing to do is just hurry up and get into the pits, unless you're going to hope for a safety car, or unless you're just doing a hard to soft strategy. But we'll have to wait and see what the Magical Ella can do.
Yeah, just for reference, Fraser setting a personal best lap time on the previous lap with a 1:32.273, and on the last lap, Ella was 1.7 seconds down on her best lap, which was a 1:34.874. So you can do the maths, because I'm not going to try and compensate and do it at the same time. But that is a lot of time lost relative to the drivers behind for Ella. So, as we see ET Frozen getting ahead of Neox, and now that will be him in the provisional race lead. We'll see what Ella does moving on into the last stages of this race. But ET Frozen makes a crucial move, and will probably be trying to make advantage of the medium compound tyres. We're seeing the pace that Neox had on him. Now will ET Frozen be able to match it or even surpass it now in the last stages of this race?
Well, we'll have to wait and see what ET Frozen can do. House, I hope he's begging for a safety car. You know what commentators' curse is like. So we have to hope there is no safety car. There better not be a safety car. And of course, with commentators' luck, it will come through. But Elite Scythe up in towards P4 at the moment, making a move down in towards turn 10. And it's starting to shape up for a very good ending to this brilliant Grand Prix race.
Yeah, it's certainly been a close race. That's what I have to say for the first race of this season. It's been so close between probably about the top 7 drivers. And I think the strategy has helped out the likes of, helped the likes of ET Frozen, Neox. I think and the Elite Scythe. I think they've nailed their strategy. House, I think we have to wait a bit to see will his strategy be the right play. But Ella, this is definitely an interesting one, as you can now see she's come into the pits. So will she go onto the soft compound tyres?
No, medium.
It's the mediums. So we will likely see that
probably last now. No.
11 laps. I mean, Swaz Killers can make it work. As one thing that's gone a bit under the radar maybe is Tart Racer, who is now in P1, who's set a 131.7 on his last lap and is now just 2 seconds behind Fraser in P5. So I may eat my words here talking about this driver, and he may well win this race.
He's coming up. Good, love a safety car.
No safety car, and then he's in the money, I have to say.
Indeed.
Anyways, Neox, 8 tenths behind. It's crucial for him to stay within the DRS, which he's not done, or he's just about gotten it. So hopefully he can stay ahead, because it's been a great battle. We've seen overtakes constantly. We've got yellow flags. Is that Swaz Killers, who's had an incident coming out of turn 2, and this is not the driver of a champion, or the driver of a 2-time champion, because they're both in P16 and P17. Ferrari, from being constructors challengers in both season 3, I believe, season 4 and season 5, now find themselves P16, P17 in season 6. Opinions?
Yeah, it's a bit of a disappointing run, but I feel like the Ferraris, they have got a strong lineup depending on how Swazkillers does for the rest of the season. We know Dark HD will be consistent, but will Swazkillers do the same? We do not know. We'll have to wait and see. But P16, P17, it's a bit of a bad day in the office for them, but they will go back to the engineering room, find out what's wrong with the car, get it all sorted out, and it's a big snap for Swazkillers there, heading past turn 11, but he just managed to make that stick. They'll have to go back into the room, strategize once again, and come back next week to find out what they did wrong.
And I think Elite Scythe wants to get a move on now, because the gap between Neox and ETE Frozen is now over a second, and we saw what that did to Ella and where she is now, and Elite Scythe will not want to be stuck in that position, so he needs to get past Neox right now. And I can imagine he is, because he's deploying his battery and he's going to pull out to the side of Neox and into turn 11. Elite Scythe is now ahead and into P2. He needs to belt it and absolutely run towards the back of ET Frozen if he wants a chance of winning this race.
Yeah, Elite Scythe 1.1, 1.2 now seconds separates P1 and P2, and he needs to hurry up and get in. But he has to also watch out for Neox, because don't forget, he is on the hard compound tyres, and I'm sure they'll be the better tyres coming through the later stages, especially the last couple of laps of this race. So he needs to break out of DRS between him and Neox at the moment, and then finally make his mark on ET Frozen. But Neox, by the way, P3 at the moment on the first race of the season. I feel like this has been a brilliant race, and he would be my driver of the day so far.
I could certainly agree with you. He's had a very strong race, as we see House come into the pits. He's gone from the softs onto another set of softs. He's had to serve his 5-second penalty, and he has found himself in P2. So is this the strategy to forget for the Alfa Romeo driver?
I think it is a strategy to forget. I mean, House, we know he's one of the quickest drivers on this grid, but doing a soft that early on is maybe not the call for him. But we also have to notice Dark HD is also on the softs. So does he know something that we don't?
Well, he's certainly making the soft switch, because he's made a move on Jake Clayton and now finds himself in P14, but he's got a big gap in front, so it may well be P14 at best for Dark HD right now.
He might be able to make it work, but we will have to wait and see. If he really nurses his tyres, it will end up, you have to check in with us in about 6 laps time to find out how much he is struggling. But it is now ETE Frozen and Elite Scythe who are in within a second of each other, so this could be very interesting.
Yeah, and it seems that they've got the overwhelming pace now. I think we may see them start to pull away from Neox as their tyres. No, I think ET Frozen, well, they're actually quite equal, to be fair. So this is probably going to be a straight fight between the two of them, and I am all for it. We can see Neox on complete life support with his battery, just clinging for dear life to the back of these two, because if they get out DRS, I suspect it traps for him. So Neox 1.1 behind, has Fraser chasing them down for P3. Touch Racer is now 2.2 seconds behind Fraser, and look who it is. It's Dark Jr. all the way up in P6. After
Oh.
as you see, Touch Race, he's hit the wall, and that is it for his attempts, his opportunities to be in P1. I assume here because he's had a big incident, smacked the wall as he made his way out of turn 3, and that's a safety car, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that commentator's curse coming into play? Will
You can
House
never
stay
know.
out though? That's the real question.
Well, I think for the likes of, well, Neox has just hit his tire drop off point, so I'd assume he'd be coming into the pits. But if I were everybody, I would come into the pits. I think it is.
I think I was House. I'd stay out personally.
House is
1 lap.
he's got about enough wear that you get after about 2 quali laps of tires.
But you cannot forget if everyone's going to pit onto the softs here, House has not got another set of softs, so
That's true.
you'd
That's
want
true.
to stay out.
So we see ET Frozen and Elite Scythe follows him in. Neox follows them in. Fraser comes in as well. Will Dark Jr. double stack with the Red Bull? Yes, he will. He takes that risk. Ella, P6. I think she has enough time to get in, so she does come in. Touch Racer with the front wing damage quite obviously comes in. Will that be speeding in the pit lane for him? No, he keeps it together. A bit of a dramatic lock up, but he's made it work. And it's into the pits. Molyneux comes in. I think we're going to see everybody come. Randro comes in as well. More Islands in. I believe we're going to see this from everybody. Touch Racer's retired, so that's his race done.
House stays out.
House stays out. You are correct. So where does that put him? Just ahead of Ella. So if I were him, I would consider maybe letting his teammate through as Jake Laser gets a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. Dark HC now has an opportunity to make his early race rose right. And we'll have a look. So I can confirm ET Frozen, Elite Scythe, Fraser, Randro, Moore Island, Jake Laser, and Watts, and also Hef are on fresh soft compound tyres. Neox on used softs. Dark Jr. on used softs. House obviously on used softs as well. And Mighty 102 on new mediums. So this is going to be an interesting one. I think especially for Neox, who has used soft compound tyres, so he didn't save a set in qualifying. And this is going to be fun. Yeah, that's for sure.
It is going to be fun. I mean, only a couple laps remaining. It is all coming down to the wire for the first race of this season. Like I said earlier, running the race, you can join us over at Bromama Gaming for the Tier 2 tomorrow, 7 p.m. BST. You'll be alongside myself and Mr. Moranen. And if you want to stick around for the Tier 1s, we race every Sunday, 8 p.m. BST. You'll catch us over next week in Saudi Arabia. So, what's the saying for it? My Habibi or I don't know.
Well, I actually do know a bit of Arabic, but I don't know what you're trying to say, so I'm not even going to attempt to.
No, Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Alright, well, for my Arabic viewers out there, Barnabash, hopefully it's going to be an interesting race next time, but this has certainly been an interesting race so far. On lap 24 of 29, the first safety car of the night, and I think the people. So we'll have a look at anyone who was struggling with fuel. I think everybody was fine. Heth might have been in trouble with his fuel, but I think the safety car will now help him out, so he should be fine to finish the race. But anyways, predictions now. I think now's the time for predictions, Jace. I think we can get a decent idea. So what do you think?
I think Frozen, he's been very good, but it will be a toss-up between Elite Scythe and ET Frozen. But my prediction, they've been battling all race, and I feel like when it comes to lap stages, especially in these next couple of laps, they're going to get a bit too close for comfort, take each other out, and Neox is going to come home for the beautiful win.
Well, that's certainly an interesting one. I would probably back Elite Scythe in this position. I don't think Neox, although he shows some very good pace throughout the race, but I think just him being on the used sauce might affect him. towards the latter stages of it. So we'll have a look. Safety car, we might have it for one more lap, or we might see at the end of this lap. I'll have a look, but if we're in
It'll be
at the
another
end
lap.
if we're at the end of this lap, Jason, you want to take us through it?
Well, I definitely know it will be next lap because the HEF is not quite up to the back.
Right.
And it will be said in about now. So, yeah. We stopped another lap. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been an entertaining one so far, that's for sure. I think, well, driver of the day so far. You say Neox? Is that what I heard?
I would say Neox, yes.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with Neox, but I also think Dark Jr. is going to get a big shout. He had some issues, some woes at the start of the race, and he's more than made amends for it. And to be fair, he's right up there and is well and truly in the battle for P1 now.
I'd also have to make a little bit of a shout out for Fraser. He is the biggest gainer so far this race, up 7 positions. So I feel like we haven't spoke about him much. Of course, he kept coming short for the Drivers' Championship, but he is with us here again tonight, and especially for at least another season. So I feel like for me, it would be a toss-up between Neox and Fraser.
That is certainly fair. For worse, it's something we don't want to do. But okay, let's not do that. Actually, we're not going to be negative. I'm not going to say who's had the worst drive because I don't think that's fair. Because I think everybody's
Optic JS20.
Okay, now, okay. I'm not going to violate my man out here. He's still not in the lobby, so yeah. But let's say, what's the biggest surprise from this race? Is what I'm going to say.
Probably Track Race 23 crash now, would you say?
I mean, yeah. I think that was probably the climax. I think, but I can see that. I think for me, the biggest surprise was maybe Neox's pace and Dark HD's possible lack of pace. Although we do know Dark HD is now on a wheel compared to a controller last season, so he is still developing and learning to adapt to driving on a wheel. But not the race to remember for Dark HD.
Well, you can lead us away.
I cannot lead us away, Chase. This is you, mate. Come on. You're lead commentator.
Okay. Do you know what? It's you. You're doing it. You're the main commentator.
Let's not argue here. Come on, Jess.
Go on, it's you. I'm not talking.
Oh, for God's sake. Why do you do this to me?
You're main tonight. Come on.
Alright then. It will be E.T. Frozen to lead us away on to lap 26 of this race. We'll see how long he'll wait, if he goes early, if he goes late. Elite Scythe in the McLaren will be trying his best to make a move into turn 1, try and get a jump on him. And he's gone now. Elite Scythe stays fairly close to him. He deploys his battery. Is there going to be enough overspeed to make a move onto E.T. Frozen? Dark Jr. again. The horror just continues for him as he's now out of the session again. Well, out of the lobby again. And Elite Scythe stays where he is. Stays put. Fraser now will be flying the flag for Red Bull and trying to make amends for Dark's disconnection and try and make his way onto the podium. Neox struggling a bit compared to the front two. Is that down to his used softs? But we'll see. Elite Scythe is going to be keeping this very close to the driver in front. Randro makes a move. It's all on Dark Jr., who is now out. Morale will be the next person to try and get ahead into P9. Elite Scythe stays stays behind E.T. Frozen in P2. Fraser now 3/10 behind Neox. Is there an opportunity for him to be on the podium in the first race of Season 6? The Alfa Romeos stay where they are. Will House let his teammate through into turn 11? He does so as Ella has the fresher tyres. Now will Ella have the opportunity to make some moves and possibly make her way onto the podium as well? Molyneux has now got an opportunity around the outside of House. House just struggling a bit there to get into the position as he let Ella through, just lacked a bit of overspeed compared to Molyneux, and Molyneux has done the perfect thing there and now making a look behind because Randro might have an opportunity on House, but House deploys his battery. And will he have a move into turn 15 down the inside? House sends it, and he has maybe made it stick. There's a bit of contact. Randro has been the guy who's lost out in that position, loses out to Moore Ryland. House is not going to let this go, but Moore Ryland's not letting this go either because he's right behind House. And will there be an opportunity into turn 1? But we look at Elite Scythe, who stays where he is. Moore Ryland And Randro now going into Randro goes down the inside of all round. That's not good for him. But wow, what an opening lap of the safety car. After the safety car we've seen, Jace.
Yeah, there's battles galore around this track. Everybody on the soft compound tyres, apart from Matty 102 and Optic JS20. And now we have to look up to the forward guys, as it's only 3 laps remaining, including lap 29. ET Frozen, 5 tenths separate him and Elite Safe, with Neox in P3. 7 tenths he needs to stay in within a second. Neox, come on, as Fraser is right on the back of him. 2 tenths, scratch that. 4 tenths, scratch that. 5 tenths separate P4 and P3. But what a race we are having, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, certainly an entertaining race, and Elite Scythe has to get a move on very soon. He may be waiting for DRS. We can see he's got significantly more battery than ET Frozen. I'll say this out loud because drivers are able to see it on the stream anyway if I go on board. But ET Frozen with 49% battery compared to Elite Scythe, who has 82%, 83%. Tyre wear is completely even between the two drivers. 14, well, more or less even. Elite Scythe nursing his tires a little bit better. 14% for ET Frozen, 12% for Elite Scythe, and a big 19% for Neox compared to the front two. So that might be his detriment, as we now see Molyneux losing the position to House. He's going to try and hold it around the outside, making his way through turn 1. Molyneux sweeps around there. You can see the tyre advantage now. Molyneux gets into P6, really be able to hold on to the position. We'll see who has Molyneux has DRS, and look who's on the scene now. It is Randro, who goes around the outside of House and finds himself into P7 with a 3-second penalty, of course. But House is falling away now. It might be his detriment with the 2-stop strategy. Now we see Matty 102 and Dark HD going wheel to wheel. It's going to be so close between them. Matty 102 on the mediums, Dark HD on the softs, and now House is just 1 tenth behind. Look at this gap here between the 4 drivers, separated by about 2 seconds. This is incredible. Oh, jeez.
This race is making me starstruck, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty much everyone on the grid, Palm Matty 102, is in within a second from each other. And what a race we are starting to have here. Molyneux just falling out now, 3.2 seconds.
And now look at Swazkill, it's down the inside of M1 tried to go for a move into turn 9, it didn't work, and now he's lost his position to the Tier 1 Season 1 champion. And look at Drake Laser sweeping down the inside, taking advantage. But M1 stays ahead. Now we look forward to Elite Scythe, who is about 1 tenth ahead, 1 tenth behind, sorry. Jesus, of ET Frozen. And will there be an opportunity now? He deploys his battery, he opens up the DRS. Is this the move for the race lead? ET Frozen defending from Elite Scythe. Elite Scythe goes into P1 in on lap 29, the final lap of the race. ET Frozen trying to hold it around the outside. This is incredible racing. It's so close. It's nearly contacted. That is Elite Scythe who is in the wall and out. That is huge. Huge drama on the final lap. But look who's on the scene now, because it's Fraser. Complete calamity for Elite Scythe, and that will be something that is a bit of controversy after the race. But ET Frozen, as it stands, stays in P1. Fraser will now be the person to have an opportunity, and he has significantly more battery than ET Frozen relative to being on the final lap. And what, trying to make a move on Jake. Look at this battle here, because look at Molyneux going down the inside of House. More Island finding himself in P6 now. House, Molyneux nearly spinning out of this race, but we'll look ahead to Fraser. Is there an opportunity for him on this the back straight going towards turn 11? He has got a lot more battery, 30% compared to ET Frozen's 10%. Is there an opportunity for Fraser to make a move on this final lap? This is going to be crucial for Fraser. Chase, what's your prediction? Say it quick, because I'm nearly there.
It's going to be ET Frozen.
Oh my days, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll look at Ella and House Neox later on, but Fraser is 6 tenths behind. Can he use his advantage in the battery? I don't think it's enough, because it will be ET Frozen who will come across the line to win the first race here in BMRL in Bahrain. Ella's so close! Oh my days! Wow, as we now see Randro coming in P5, it's so close between the two drivers. More Island in P5, House P6, Molyneux P7. It is so... I can't stop speaking because there's so many moves close to the line. What a race we have just seen. That is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the gap between Ella and Neox. Just about 1.5 tenths. Oh, I'm going to lose my voice.
Bravo, ETE Frozen. What a race we have had tonight. Great commentary there, Brian Terra. You have shown why you are the main man with us tonight, and what a show you have all seen.
Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, are you not entertained? Wow. Heartbreak for Elite Scythe, who had an incident on the final lap. I will not comment on who I believe is at fault in that situation. I will not comment on that until I see any clips or anything. But all I'll say is that it's unfortunate for Elite Scythe, and congratulations to ET Frozen. Irrelevant of who's at fault. I have no idea for now, and I won't comment until the shooters make a decision. But as it stands, ET Frozen is our race winner. Fraser finds himself in P2. Neox in P3 for the Mercedes. Ella in P4. House P5. Sorry, Morale in P5. A great recovery drive from P10. House in P6. Mo in P7. Might want a 2 P8. Randro P9. Swaz Killers, the champion of Season 1, in P10. Dark HD, the reigning champion, two-time champion here, the only two-time champion, only finds himself in P11. Mwat found himself in P12. Jake Laser P13, Heth P14, Squinners P6, 15, Dark Junior P16. After that, another disconnection. Calamity for him. Elite Scythe, who I think might have retired, who stayed, but he got P17. Optic JS20, P18, Touch Racer, and Cruiser Vase retired from the race. Whew. That was something, wasn't it?
We did interviews.
We will be doing interviews. If you can send out a message, that'd be nice, because I'm trying to sort something out.
Yeah, I'll start with you. I'll start with it.
Thank you very much, mate. Oh, I forgot to turn on the stream overlay the entire race. Fuck.
Bruh.
Oh, that's useless. Right, so we'll wait a bit to see. So we had ET Frozen, Fraser, and Neox. Right, okay. We'll see if we can hear from Elite Scythe. If you can get him in. I know he might be angry, but we'll see if we can get him in. But wow, that was something else for sure. I've not seen a race like that in a while. Whew. Alright then. So Jace, after that, who's your driver of the day?
I think Fraser has edged it for me. I edge every time I watch a race from him. He makes me edge to my life. I'm always on the verge of busting, but he will be my driver of the day. Who would yours be?
Oh, it's an interesting one. There are so many. I have to say, that's just a general thing here. To every Tier 1 driver who might be watching right now or who was watching before this, I have the utmost of respect for what you did today, because that was an incredible race from everybody, and I think everybody did impeccably. There was some great racing. Everywhere we looked, there was some great racing, and it has to be said how well everybody did today. But I think there are a few who were outstanding today, and I'd have to say Neox was great. Obviously, Elite Scythe and Frozen were great as well, and Dark Junior, despite his issues with the connection, didn't really set up. Like, he made a complete charge up the grid before he had a second disconnect. But yeah, so unfortunate for the rest. But we'll see if we can get the rest of the interviewees here in time.
I think we're all good.
Right, what I will do is give me a second. We're waiting on who else?
Fraser's not joining, so we're all good.
Fraser's not joining, right? Okay. Give me a second. And then we'll switch over. La 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 la. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. What am I doing? I'm trying to get this. Oh, for fuck's sake. Bear with me, gentlemen. Sorry. Scheiße. This has not gone to plan, has it? We've got them in, so I guess we can start, but I'm trying to get this sorted at the same time. But we will make a start because we can't wait forever. And we'll start with the man in P3 in Neox. That's what we'll start because he was P3. Neox, mate, huge congratulations. I believe this is your first podium here in Tier 1. And what a way to do it. P3, and you were battling back and forth for the win. How do you feel, mate?
Yeah, my first podium, and yeah, it feels amazing. The race was decent and tense all the time. I was trying to push the harder I can, and at the end of the safety car restart,
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't have any pace because I had to put U soft. I was thinking
Yeah.
not to pit, but then I was like, everyone is pitting, so I'm gonna pit too. Maybe that was a mistake on my end, but yeah, tense, tense.
Yeah, it was certainly well, a great uh, race from you, and I think, well, I have the utmost respect for your drive for sure. In qualifying, just take us through what how your opinion through it and what was going through your head.
Oh, in qualifying, I think I put put the decent lap. Uh, I was just surprised how everyone in front of me was so quick, and yeah, I couldn't do anything more than P5. But I think there's more room to improve from my side. So yeah, we will see.
Yeah. Once again, massive congratulations to you, Jace. Any questions, mate?
Neox, you have absolutely shined this race. We thought at the start of this race who would be the favourites, and I thought we've seen over the little break, over the pre-season break, Neox, he's a very quick driver, but is he worthy for podiums? And do you know what? I smack myself in the face for that. Of course you're worthy for podiums, and it was a brilliant drive. I think that's the best drive I've ever seen you race, especially for both tiers, let alone tier 1. And no questions, I just want to take my hat off for you and say a massive congratulations. I hope there'll be a load more and many to come. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
All right then.
Go on,
We
Joe.
will move on to provisionally our race winner. ET Frozen, or I'm tempted to say Taze because that's what I'm used to, but ET Frozen, you are the race winner of the first race here in BMRL Tier 1 Season 6. Massive congrats, mates. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean it feels good. It's my I think first win in BMRL. And there should hopefully be plenty more to come. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can certainly say I wouldn't be surprised it's the first of many. You were great throughout the race, and in qualifying as well. In the end, not the absolute pace as compared to the front two. Was there more lap time on the table?
Um, I felt it felt like a decent lap. I didn't expect it to go to P4. Just I mean the fast lap. I mean it was 2 tenths off me. It was a really fast lap. I thought my lap would have been good enough to get me at least on the front row. But I mean nonetheless it was on the second row, and I mean it still got me the race win anyway. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I can certainly say great pace in qualifying, and moving into the race, it was back and forth between, well, pretty much from you down to, well, you slash elite down to, or slash Neox as well, to be fair, down to P7. It was a really close. It was a pressure on for you. Were you feeling the pressure of seeing so many front wings behind you and seeing a few rear wings in front of you?
Yeah, I was a bit worried. I didn't know how it would go. I wanted to try and save as much ERS right to the end as I could, but I think I left about 20-30% near the end until I had that with incident with Elite. But I kept it nice and steady throughout the end of the race, and inevitably it got me the win.
Yeah, and I am gonna address the elephant in the room. Of course, there was a slight incident between yourself and the McLaren driver of Elite Scythe. Just from your perspective, what happened?
From my point of view, that it was completely a racing incident that I didn't. It was no one's fault at all. He just pulled ahead of turn two, and I'd stuck my nose in, and I think he sort of edged back onto the he was on the curb, and he sort of edged back onto the track, and his rear left and my front right got lodged together, and I had a half spin, but then unlucky for Elite, he had a full spin. But from my point of view, there was not. It was just a complete racing incident. It was from no one's to blame for it.
Well, there you've heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. So we will clarify at the next race in Saudi Arabia what the verdict from the stewards will be. But for now, Taste Frozen, ETE Frozen, is your race winner. Chase, any questions, mate?
Yeah, just the one question. It was a brilliant win, and not many people knew. I remember we're playing in, especially for XFL, how quick you have came, especially from people like last season. You have just improved drastically, and I think not many people really took you that serious and thought you have got the pace to win every race, and you have. And I believe you are one of the quickest drivers on this grid. But my question to you is, going into this race, were you confident that you were going to win this, or were you feeling like a podium will do?
I mean, I felt confident because I think Bahrain's probably one of my favorite tracks. It's not the best track to drive, but it is a decent track for battling and stuff. But I felt I had a good bit of confidence going into the race. I didn't feel as if I was like, oh, I was gonna absolutely blow everyone out the water and win by like 20 seconds. But I just felt I had the pace to just be at the front and hopefully be pushing for a podium. But maybe it was a bit more than I expected at the end of the race.
Well, thank you. I mean, you took home the win, and like I said with Neox, hopefully many more to come, and I can't wait to hear from you and see you and watch you and commentate with you for the rest of the season. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Any last words for the race winner then? From the race winner?
Nah, I'm not gonna say. Just it was a fun race, and it was got kept on my feet tonight, to be honest, from a lot of the guys. So it was fun, yeah.
Well, there you go then. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Next week, get on your feet and get yourselves to your computers to watch the Tier 1 race from Saudi Arabia here on Twitch, bro. Twitch.com or Twitch.tv /Bro Mama Gaming. And catch us tomorrow at 7 p.m. GMT to watch the Tier 2 race in Bahrain. My name's Josh Rockenlow. It's been a pleasure, joined by Jace Doyle. Take care, Legend. Take care, everybody. I can't do an outro for my life. Jesus Christ.